I got a trivia question for you. Classic game trivia question for you. Okay, you ready for this?
I'll try.
It's a trick question, but when you hear the answer, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh!" What was the very first video game to ever use a live orchestra?
The first game to use a live orchestra.
Yeah,
The,
first game to have real orchestral music.
I gotta say, I do not know the answer to this.
I'll start to give you some hints. It was in the 80s, and it was an arcade game from the 80s. So a lot of people say, is it Halo? Is it Final Fantasy? Was it Zelda? No, it was an arcade game from the 80s.
Was it the Laserdisc Dragon one?
There you go.
What was the name of that one? That
Come on now. This is the classic game room. You don't know the name of this game?
Oh,
Gary Goldman.
I know the. I can picture it. I just can't remember the name all of a sudden. I'm having a brain fart on this game.
It was the first game that was 50 cents ever. And it's in the Guinness Book. It collected the most money for its time.
Dragon's Lair?
Hey, there you go. Dragon's Lair. Good man. Good man.
That was a really cool game because it was like live action.
Oh,
I don't
awesome.
remember. I can't say I remember the music. It's been a long time since I played that, but I do remember the
music's in our classic arcade segment.
Okay.
Yeah, it was you know, that's stuff. And then after that was Space Ace, was another big game that came out. Same type of thing by Don Bluth and those guys, animators.
I have Space Ace for Panasonic 3DO, in fact.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's in my review queue for the year. Space Ace.
I did one game for the 3DO. It was Demolition Man with Sylvester. I worked with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. Okay, this one, now you're getting a little early now. This is the Odyssey 2.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
But
that's great.
One signed by Ralph Baer.
No, rub it in. Thanks.
See that? So Ralph Baer, for those of you who aren't aware, Ralph Baer's the creator of the home video game system. He was the guy. Now for the Holy Grail. I got to give you the Holy Grail. So Ralph Baer created as we know, created the home system in the 60s, and he actually put together a 5-page write-up of what he felt a video game could be, and kind of invented the video game really, and those papers are actually in the Smithsonian Institute. And the other thing that's in the Smithsonian Institute, because the thing that he created initially to prove that this technology exists was called the brown box, and the brown box there was like, I think 5. I don't know how many exist in the world. I think there's 8 of them in the world, and they're all either in museums. There's one over in the German Museum. There's one in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. I believe there's one over in Japan. And, of course, Ralph Baer owns one as well. But this is, to my knowledge, this is the only brown box in a private collection. But this is it here. This is the actual Ralph Baer brown box. One of the, this has the wood grain stickers on it. And look at that. It even has the, what do they call that? Those things you clicked with the
switches.
The switches, but then you got this stuff.
Oh, I forget what that's called.
Kind of hand punched it kind of thing. And again, this was signed by Mr. Baer. So Mr. Baer gave me this, and you had the controllers.
Oh, wow.
And this is a piece of history right here.
Now, do you ever break that out at parties?
Well, we bring it to Video Games Live, and we did a big PBS special in 2010, and we did a DVD and a Blu-ray as well. And if you get the DVD and Blu-ray, you'll see on there, I actually had this on stage, and Ralph Baer was at our show. And so I picked a kid from the audience to come on stage and play the brown box with against Ralph Baer. Orchestra was providing the music and sound effects while they were playing, and
Wow.
we have a whole big, I think it's a 10-minute Ralph Baer interview on that disc. It's really cool. But anyway, yeah, so that's a little that's kind of some of the stuff I have lying around the studio. A lot of Tron stuff around here
Well,
too.
as there should be. Tron is
Yeah,
one of the best movies ever made.
ever made.
Period. Well, we're recording this now at the beginning of 2012. What's your schedule for the year? When can people see? When and where can people see video games live? Because they got to see
Well,
it.
yeah, well, I appreciate that. The Our schedule is always changing. It's not like a normal concert where, oh, we're Van Halen and we go out on the road for 3 months or 4 months and we play these dates. Video Games Live is a perpetual tour. And so we always do one offs. So we'll literally, like, we added a London, Ontario show yesterday that's playing in March. So the best thing to do is really, if you're interested in seeing video games live and you want to make sure you don't miss it when it comes to your area, the best thing to do is to go on videogameslive.com and just sign up to our mailing list. I don't spam people. I don't send people stuff like this. I collect your email address and the state or the country that you're in. And when we come to that place, what I do is I send out a pre-sale. So I'll give a special code to every person on our mailing list. Um, and so when before tickets go on sale to the general public, you'll have an opportunity to get the best tickets before anyone else and the best seats and things like that. So that's the best thing to do, really, is to sign up for Video Games Live. I promise we don't spam, we don't do anything. We just use it so that, and I don't want to know all your information and your phone number and all. No, just give me your email address and the state and country you're in so that we can send you an email when we're coming to your area, and you'll get the best seats in the house before anyone else.
But you'll be
So that's
busy in 2012, right?
in 2012. We're doing a whole European tour. So we're hitting places, a couple cities in Germany, and of course the UK, and hopefully getting back to places like Paris and Portugal and Spain and things. So and we're going to hit Scandinavia for the first time as well, a place like Sweden and the Netherlands and all that.
We have a lot of viewers out there. They'll be happy to know that.
Good. Well, we're definitely coming there. We're and that's going to be happening probably in the August time frame, and possibly May. We might be doing two runs. We might be doing a run in May and then another run in August in Europe. Down in South America, we're going. We're looking at places. We're doing Brazil again. We do about 5 or 6 cities down there, and they're crazy. Some of the best fans in the world are down in South America. They're the loudest audiences. They're so passionate. They go crazy. We
And they'll
love
be
it.
happy to hear that.
Oh yeah, yeah. To anywhere south of the U.S., Mexico. We played Mexico City last year. 2 sold-out shows, thousands of people. I mean, they went crazy. It was great. But we're looking to go to new places like Argentina and Chile, and places like that. So Brazil will be down there in October, down in South America and Mexico. We're going to be over in Asia in June and July. So, looking at places like Malaysia and Singapore, and even going to some new places that we've never been to, like Macau and Thailand is looking at a show for us right now. Of course, China, Taiwan, again, amazing fans in Malaysia and Taiwan. They go nuts. I mean, we played in Taiwan. We played one show. You see it on YouTube. It'll blow your mind. We played to over 100,000 people in Taiwan. I mean, they had the stage rigged with fireworks. It was unbelievable. It was just the intense over there, because a lot of people think, oh, the Asian audiences are very reserved and this and that. I would say that is the case in Japan, but not in like China, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia. It's through the roof. So we'll be going back there at the end of June and early July, and then, but for the rest of the world, or for the rest of the U.S. and Canada, we're doing a big Canadian tour. in at the end of October when we get back from Brazil. So that's going to be the very end of October and into early November, first couple of weeks in November. We're doing all across most of Canada. We're going to start actually on the East Coast in Montreal, Toronto, and just go all the way Ottawa and go all the way across Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, and go all the way to Vancouver. So that's happening. And as for the U.S., all dates and cities and states are all in between everything I just mentioned. So we have a nice little run at the end of March where we're actually doing a separate show away from our Canadian tour just in London, Ontario as a separate show. And it's going to be a different show from the one we do in the fall. But we're playing in the Washington, D.C. area. In Bethesda, Maryland, we have 2 shows in April. We're doing Red Bank, New Jersey. So anyone in New York or New Jersey, that's probably going to be our only show in that area. That's happening April 4th. We're playing in places like El Dorado, Arkansas, and we're putting together things in Indiana. A lot of Midwest shows that we're working on right now. We're working on shows in Hartford, Connecticut, different parts of New York. What else here? Let me see. Like upstate New York or Western New York. Looking at playing, of course, L.A.
So you're very used to traveling.
We're all over the place all the time. We just announced a show in Austin, Texas that's happening next January 2013, but we're going to put a nice run together in Texas, probably hit Houston, Dallas, San Antonio.
All right.
Around that time. So it's always changing. It's always different. Please join us on Facebook as well. You got your shirt there. Look at that.
Yeah, you can get shirts and all kinds of good stuff at your shows.
The DVDs, the CDs, always. That's very impressive.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations for the continued success. And I just really enjoyed the shows. I tell everybody about them because I just loved the mixture of that rock concert with symphony, with the intensity of a good show, but the civility of a symphony, and of course, it's all about video games, which
exactly.
I love. So,
thank you so much. I'm glad to hear, and I'm more glad to hear that your wife loved it just as much as you.
She had a great time.
That was the goal, and so to hear that, to know that my dream is being fulfilled and my goals are being met. So,
well, thank you very much
thanks for helping spread the word.
Thanks for talking to Classic Game Room, Tommy Tallarico from Video Games Live. Make sure you see their next performance wherever you are.
You'll be coming to Pittsburgh soon too.
I'm going to be on your mailing list.
Awesome. There you go.
We're on the Symphony mailing list, so now I've got to get on yours. Thank you again.
Thank you.